Good morning, beloveds. I'm a little discombobulated this morning. I did not go to the gym. It is Monday, and last week I learned that my trainer offers a special rate for partners. And my husband has been making noise about going and working out with him, and we were trying to fit it in the budget. And when we went, oh, so I'm going to go to the gym on Wednesday. But, so I'm a little off. But, happy February, happy Imbolc, happy Groundhog Day, and happy beginning of Black History Month. It is also Heart Health Month, because it is the month that has Valentine's Day in it, so it's Happy Heart Month. So, check your heart. Which, speaking of, in the 365 Science of Mind, February is the month of love. So all of our readings will be on around that subject. So I look forward to going through them with you. Let's start out with the opening quotes. Love is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Ernest Holmes. Love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. Also Ernest Holmes. We may think of the divine as a fire whose outgoing warmth pervades the universe. Plotinus. Plotinus? Plotinus, if you want to look him up. Love is the fire and I am the wood. Rumi. All's love, yet all's law. Robert Browning. Someday, after we have mastered the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity, we shall harness the energies of love. Then, for the second time in the history of the world, we will have discovered fire. And that is Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. I'm pretty sure I got most of that right. Not gonna claim that I did it well, but Chardin. Okay, so February 1st, we start out with our title is God's Presence in Me is Love. And our Bible quote is, He hath made everything beautiful in His time. And that is from Ecclesiastes 3:11. 3:11. All right. The divine presence within me is everlasting love. The action of love is expressed in my world. God's wisdom holds me steady, and the peace of God fills me. I am His creation, understood, wanted, and cared for. From this infinite source, I give and receive love in my world. If petty emotions seem to trouble me, I immediately turn to the source within me of strength and peace. God in me does the loving, and I have no fear. Kindness and understanding are shown to me. I bless anyone who seems to disturb me. I know how to love those who are dear to me and love them more each day. As our love grows, so we grow as individuals. God in me is never troubled. Nothing can take love from me or keep it out of my heart. Love enters freely, and there are no restrictions to it. I came into this world to love, and I am loving. I express my love for God, a boundless gratitude, because I live. God rejoices in me because of and by means of me. Okay. I think the cats have decided that whatever this is, they're over it, which is why they're not making cameos anymore. There's one in here. She's just not interested in being on camera. All right. there's a lot about love, and I have talked before. There's a big difference between the Western idea of love and the Eastern idea of love. So it'll be interesting to go through this month and see Ernest Holmes' idea of love, especially since he has an idea of divine love and personal love. And I would say his idea of personal love is probably a little closer to the Eastern model than it is to the Western. What I would tell you, the biggest difference between Eastern and Western is subjective versus objective love. And the way I will describe that to you is, in the Western model, we overuse the word love because we love our spouses, we love our partners, we love our pets, but we also love our books and our motorcycles and our houses. And we have a tendency to turn everything that we love into an object. Whereas in the Eastern model, they keep, I would imagine, and I don't know because I haven't researched this, but they have different words that mean different kinds of love. So that what the word that they would use for objective love, where the love is an object, is different than a subjective love, which is, when I say subjective, I mean like your partner or your pet, an independent living being that has its own thoughts and feelings. They have their own thoughts and feelings. And in the Eastern model, those feelings are taken into account. And when you love subjectively, then you do what's best for the subject of your love as well as yourself. And in the Western model, because we have this tendency to make everything that we love an object, then it really becomes more about us than what we love. And frequently it can be a measure of status. And if you have followed my argument to this point, you can see how unhealthy that can get and how quickly that can get very unhealthy. So, it will be interesting. And like I said, Ernest has divine love and personal love. And I believe his divine love is definitely that Eastern, subjective, and it's going to do what's best for the subjective, even when it's not comfortable. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. We will do things that are comfortable for us, but not for the subject of our love, because we've turned that being into an object. It's not necessarily the best for them. The closest we can get, I think probably the closest we can get to it, is that idea of tough love. We talk about tough love. We're not good at it, but we talk about it. And that's more along the lines of the Eastern love. Not that, I mean, don't get me wrong. They have wonderful, loving relationships, but their idea of love definitely incorporates that tough love way more than ours does. Okay. And Ernest's get-go is God's presence in me is love. That is what he believes the ultimate power is. But we use multiple words for it. Love, creation, gratitude, all of that falls under that idea of love. So God's presence in me is love. God's ultimate power in me is love. God's ultimate power in you is love. I don't know about the Bible quote from Ecclesiastes 3:11. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. I would like context on that. So I will leave you to look that up. And I'll look it up later myself. The divine presence within me is everlasting love. So there you go. Ernest's statement is God is love. The action of love is expressed in my world. And that's one of the things, is that love is both a noun and a verb. love is an action. Love is, because frequently the best way to show love is through action. There's a song. This is where you know that I listen to long-haired heavy metal music. There's a song called More Than Words. And he's like, and that's the point of the song is like, if I took those words away from you, if I took those words away from you, how would you show me that you loved me? So, and that's what God does. God doesn't have those words. So God shows us that it loves us. Spirit shows us that it loves us by the very virtue of look around you. Look at the world around you. Look at the beauty of nature. Look at the beauty of the planet and the stars and the moon and the sky and the sun. If that's not love, I don't know what is. Okay, so the action of love is expressed in my world. God's wisdom holds me steady, and the peace of God fills me. I am his creation, understood, wanted, and cared for. Okay, if his falls hard on your word, then change it a little bit. I am Spirit's creation, understood, wanted, and cared for. That is what Science of Mind is teaching. That we are a creation of God. We are a creation of Spirit. We are understood, we are wanted, and we are cared for. Even when it seems like nobody else in the world does, God does. Spirit does. The divine presence does. That's pretty central to our teaching. And when we recognize that love within ourselves and love ourselves, the world looks a little bit brighter around us. I harp on that one a lot. From this infinite source, I give and receive love in my world. Because we have access to this divine source of love, this inexhaustible source of love, then it will never run out. We are always capable of loving a little bit more, or a lot more. We're capable of it because we have an inexhaustible source that we can plug into and let it just flow through us. All right. If petty emotion seems to trouble me, I immediately turn to the source within me of strength and peace. If petty emotions. So, and that's that place that Jesse's talking about, Reverend Jesse talks about, that place within us that nothing has ever been wrong, that source of love. So when the material world gets to us, because it will, nobody is immune to the material nonsense that goes on, what I like to call the noise. We have a place to go. We have a place to go. We have a place to plug in. We have a place to fill up. And then we fill up and we leave that channel open and we come back and we do our work. And we become a divine distributor of that love. We let it flow through us so that our environment is a little bit better. And when our environment is a little bit better, then the people in our environment are a little bit better. And we don't have to do anything more than be that source of love. Be who we are. Be that divine child of God. That divine child of love. And we're better for it. They're better for it. And then their environment improves. And then the people and it just spreads. It's contagious. And we've seen contagion. If we have learned anything over this past, 11 months, we know about contagion. So let's be contagious in love. Let's be contagious in good. Let's let that spread. And then we can keep our germs to ourselves. Because that's one of the ways to improve your immune system. Honest to God, being loving and kind and compassionate to yourself, when you feel emotionally better, your immune system is going to be better. Kindness and understanding are shown to me. I bless anyone who seems to disturb me. That? Yeah. Now, you are allowed to bless them and keep them far away from you, but if they bother you, if they upset you, then bless them. Bless them. And then feel free to bless them from a distance. I know how to love those who are dear to me and love them more each day. We have a divine example. As our love grows, so we grow as individuals. And that is true. When you learn the true meaning of love, when you learn how to love yourself, then you learn how to love others better. And we grow as individuals, and we grow as a community. God in me is never troubled. Therefore, when I am, I go to that place in me where God is, because God's never troubled, and I bring that peace back with me. Nothing can take love from me or keep it out of my heart, because I know that inexhaustible source. I know the love of God. And I share the love of God. Love enters freely, and there is no restriction upon it. I came into this world to love, and I am loving. I express my love for God, a boundless gratitude, because I live. And there's no better way to love God than to live. And I'm not talking about exist. I am talking about live. To go out and do and to use your gifts. That's how we love God. God rejoices for me because of and by means of me. So that last paragraph, I mean, this one's really short. You can see how short this one is. Those are all affirmations, and any one of them are amazing. And all of them are amazing. But I would tell you, and that's one of the reasons why I like to do the mission of the day. It's like, I'm going to pick one, and that's what we're going to work on today. And maybe tomorrow you want to come back to the same page and pick another one. That is the benefit of this book. Absolutely. There's pretty much, probably at least a half a dozen good affirmations on every single page. It's an excellent book to have in your library. All right. Our mission, should we choose? Our mission, should we choose to accept it today? And it is to know that we are God's creation, that we are understood, that we are wanted, and that we are cared for. And I'm not giving you a small mission. I know I'm not giving you a small mission. But that's the mission for the month of love. To understand that we are children of God. That we are all children of God. And that God loves us. That God wants us. That God cares for us. And that God understands us. Even when we don't understand ourselves. So, that's our mission today. Wow. All right. And as always, I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like to you. And it is the month of love. It is the month of heart. It is the month of heart health. And today, I encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. Do something loving for yourself. The sun is shining here today. It may not be in the rest of the country. They're talking about groundhog not seeing their shadows all over the place. It's like if we had groundhogs, they'd be seeing in their shadows because it's beautiful here. I mean, there are very few clouds in the sky. Go out Get some of that early morning sun on your face. 5-10 minutes. It'll help with your vitamin D levels. Good for your immune system. It will help reset your hormones, including your sleep hormones. That early morning sun right there on your forehead actually does help support your melatonin levels to help you go to sleep at night. And it just feels good. It just feels good. The warmth of the sun on your face just for a few minutes. That's God kissing you. That's God loving on you. Honest to God. So, open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you you live in heaven now, because you are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. That is the state of grace that we live in. It's up to us to open our eyes, look around us, and see it and accept it, to consciously accept it, to consciously see God around us all the time. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day. And I'm going to remind you, Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. today, and I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.